joining me in studio, my first in-studio guest. Everything's always over the phone.
Sweet.
First in-studio guest, just a few days from returning from London with a bronze medal around her neck, Desiree Scott of the Canadian women's soccer team. Desiree, congratulations. Welcome home. And have you had any chance to rest at all?
The rest is for the wicked. No, not yet. I have been very, very busy, but definitely worth it. So happy to be home.
You've probably gotten all the same questions over and over and over again, so I'm going to try to come up with some new stuff. But I want to kind of go back to a couple of days ago. You're coming off the airplane. We had in the Winnipeg Sun some photos of you just kind of at the top of the escalator, and just kind of you saw your face, the anticipation when you kind of saw, I guess, the first sign of all the people that were there. Can you kind of go in that moment for a second and tell me what was that like, being at the top of the escalator and seeing all those people?
Yeah, my mom had warned me before. She's like, there's just going to be a few people at the airport. And then, there was security, and they're saying she's coming down the escalator. And then just to hear, the chants as I was coming down the hallway, it was something, it's honestly a memory I'll never forget. And then just to see the kids with their signs and to hear them screaming, "Go, Des, go!" My heart was beating so fast. It's not something I'm used to, but it was such an exciting moment for me.
So let's talk about the games. Let's talk about certainly the last two games are the ones that everybody is going to remember, both positive in the end and unfortunate in one sense. I want to go back to that American game because we'll end on a good note, right? Because obviously the American game was frustrating and for you guys and for everybody watching it. What did you kind of take out of that game when all was said and done? You got through the hurt of it, I suppose, and then had to kind of get back into it to play a bronze medal match. What were the next day or so like after that tough loss? Yeah,
that loss for us was very heartbreaking. We were so close to playing for a gold medal, and then for it to just slip away in the last minutes of overtime. We took the night to just sort of dwell on it, and then we knew that we still had a chance to podium, so we had to shake it off really quickly and just refocus. We have a great, he's called the Brain Man, so he had us, sort of allow us to have our moments, and then he took us through ways to, get over that loss, and he said we can either dwell on the past or we can still get on that podium and get a bronze medal, so that's what pretty much we went through.
And I'll be honest with you, after that match, and I was talking with it about, people were all over, were talking about it, obviously. And I just thought, boy, that's going to be so tough to bounce back from that, because that is just an emotionally draining, physically draining match. And I was really impressed with how you guys did bounce back. Was there any kind of thought at any point that, boy, this is going to be hard for us to rebound from?
Yeah, the day after, you kind of, that thought now is still in my head about the U.S. game. I don't think it's a game I'll ever forget, or the team will, for that matter. But, you have to bounce back. You only have 2 games in between, or 2 days in between the games, so you don't have a lot of time to, focus on that game. And we knew France was going to be a big challenge for us, and we rose to the occasion. We scored in the last minutes, game 6 of 6, and we did what we had to do to get the job done.
Nice save, by the way.
Thank you.
You're going to hear that a little bit, I think.
I have, yeah.
Let's go to that France game then. Give me your perspective from that. I mean, they're carrying the play at that point. We know they had a number of opportunities, and then the stop that you made, you're in the right place at the right time, make a play. Kind of give me your perspective. What are you seeing at that point, and what happened?
Yeah, we were defending for our lives in the second half of that match. Fatigue had set in. It's the end of the tournament, and France is bringing it to us. I'll be honest. They hit how many posts? Aaron McLeod, our goalkeeper, had to make some big saves, and I happened to just be in the net at that moment when that ball was coming in, and I knew this bronze medal was so close that I was going to throw any part of my body in the net so that it wasn't going to go in, and I happened to be, like you said, at the right place at the right time, and we just kept pushing and pushing, and as soon as none of their balls had gone in the net, we knew this game was going to be ours.
And now I've heard the quote from you a couple of times now about after Matheson scores, you had heard the referee say 10 seconds. Go back before that, though. Where are you on the pitch when that goal happens, and what are you seeing out in front of you?
I have to stay at half pretty much. I'm more of a defensive role these days, so I get to, everything's right in front of me. I have the view of the entire attacking quarter, and just to see the play build, Sophie Schmidt taking that shot and Diana Matheson with a wide open net, and she's so clutch. I knew that ball was going in. I was almost starting to cheer before it had gone in the net, and to see her celebrate, shaking her jersey, and just the crowd light up and go crazy. It was an unbelievable feeling.
That wasn't an easy touch for her either. I mean, it was a wide open net, but I remember. I mean, I've seen the replay 1,000 times, and I'm sure you'll never get tired of it. But I kept thinking, yeah, open net, but it wasn't like an easy play. You know, I don't know. Did you see it that way? Like, how did you see it? I guess.
Well, me personally, I look up to Diana Matheson. I think she's one of the best players for Canada, and she like inspires me. And I knew any kind of ball, she had to kind of sort of half volley it into the net, but I had no doubt that the ball on her foot would go in the back of the net. I want to touch on,
I was supposed to ask this earlier, and speaking on the Americans one more time, and we're going to leave them at that.
All right.
What is there's no love lost between those two countries and between those two teams. How candidly can you speak on how you guys feel about them and how you think they feel about you? Is it a genuine, heavy dislike for each other?
I think it is. That rivalry has been there for years. They've always had that winning record against us, and the U.S. game in the Olympics, we were so close, and I think we played the best match we've ever played probably in our careers against them. And I think they're the number one team in the world for a reason, and I think they know it. They show it as well. So, but we're getting closer and closer, and I think in the upcoming years we're going to be able to match them. So that rivalry will always be there, though.
The first time you and I talked on one of these podcasts was on the announcement of 2015, and we talked about kind of the idea of Canada rallying around that. Obviously, what you guys did here these past couple of weeks is going to make selling that tournament a lot easier. But in the next few years, what's kind of important for you guys to continue this groundswell, I guess, of support that you have from the country, and what's kind of important in the next few years to make sure that when 2015 rolls around, you guys are still foremost in people's mind?
Yeah, I think this bronze medal has done wonders for Canadian soccer. I think everyone's excited about our team and excited about the World Cup coming here. And over the next couple of years, we just have to keep the excitement going. Everyone who's at home in their local towns, promoting the game, promoting 2015, and I think we're going to be doing some games, around Canada, hopefully to get people excited about the World Cup coming here.
When does work start again for you?
I get a bit of a break, which is nice. This is probably the longest time I'm going to be in town for a little while. So nothing's set in stone yet with our schedule, but I know for sure I have at least a month off, so that's nice.
I want to talk a little bit about the job that John Herdman did. He's getting a lot of accolades, and I think is deservedly so. Basically, in 12 months, went from disappointment to where you guys are now. How? Very simply, how did that happen?
John Herdman is honestly, we can give so much credit to what he's done to our team. He's changed our team immensely, and he's giving us a confidence that we just never had before. We came from a last place in the World Cup to getting on the podium in the Olympics. Like, he makes things fun. He's so detail oriented. He's so passionate about our team, and he has that balanced lifestyle. And his famous quote is "Look good, feel good, play good." So he wants the best for our team. He wants us to enjoy what we're doing, and in turn, we're making history here, and we're loving what we're doing. And
now you're looking ahead at 2015 and certainly 2016 as well. Seems like a long ways away, but as you know, as an athlete, it's always going to be just kind of around the corner. In order for this team, this program, to go forward and be successful again in those two tournaments, and just in general, there also has to be the coming up of athletes, in the younger groups, and the U21s, and those sorts of things. Just on a very general scale, how do you kind of see Canada soccer below you guys in terms of the feeder systems and things coming up?
Yeah, I think it's improving. Every year we're getting better and better at developing the grassroots. I think the coaching is getting better. People are getting their credentials. I think the young ones are wanting to get started more competitively at a younger age, and I think them seeing us and what we've been able to accomplish, the younger kids are getting excited about sports and about soccer, and the development is getting better each and every day.
Let me go back in a little bit with you. When you decided to go to U of M, former Bison, and certainly made that program proud. When you were making decisions about university, you stayed in Canada, you played in the CIS. What were the options on the table for you?
I actually had a ton of offers to go to the U.S. to go to school, and that's usually the thing people do. When you're a soccer player, you go to the States and you play, and I was a complete homebody, and I still am, and the fact that the year I graduated, the Bisons had their first CIS season, it just sort of seemed like the pieces all came together, and I had the opportunity to play at home in front of my family and friends, which is what I wanted to do. So, I mean, it's worked out for me. I've gotten the exposure here that I may not have gotten with the Canadian team, and it was a choice that I had to make, and I'm happy I did.
And see, because that speaks to something that I feel like is important, because I'm a university guy. I like the CIS game, and then I think that people, now are following, your team, and then the Canadian Olympic, the women's basketball team had a nice little run, so they got some attention. And I'm saying, these are kids that have played here, like they stayed in Canada. So, from your perspective, can you kind of speak on the CIS game and how it sort of built? I mean, because there's quality play in the CIS.
There definitely is quality play. I think people don't give the CIS as much credit as it deserves. I mean, obviously the States, they have great programs there. They've developed some wonderful athletes, wonderful players, but I think it's important to keep more athletes in Canada. I don't think people should shy away from it. I think the programs are getting better and better every day. Like I said, even our Bisons program, we have top quality coaches coming in there now, and the team is getting better and better every year. So.
And what did it do for you, as in terms of over your years at U of M? How did you see your development? Did you, obviously you felt like you got better each year and that sort of thing, but playing at that level, do you feel like it conditioned you for where you are right now?
For sure, it definitely had that base for me. I got competitive soccer every weekend. I was training nonstop, and I give credit to the Bisons and playing in the CIS to have that competitive edge and to allow me to get onto the national team. That's what helped me out.
Going back to the airport, a lot of family there, obviously, and friends and that sort of thing. What has been I guess yesterday you got a little bit of a time to kind of chill out a little bit with family and that sort of thing. Have you been able to kind of decompress, I suppose?
Not too much, actually. No. It's been a crazy couple of days still, but my family was all there at the airport. They all came back to the house afterwards and, saw the medal. We took pictures. We had some cake. It was, it was a good time, and I'm happy to be back in Winnipeg.
So what's on the agenda now for you in the next? Are you going to be helping with the U of M program?
I'm hoping to get involved a little bit. My schedule this fall is going to be ridiculous, but I'm hoping to sit down with the head coach and see what sort of role I can play, because I definitely want to be involved in that. And just enjoying the medal a little bit, relaxing, taking some time away to just chill out. We've had a pretty rigorous training schedule, and then getting around to different clubs and stuff and showing off the medal, doing some speaking. So there's a lot on the plan for this fall, definitely.
You have to certainly now kind of grasp how big you are right now in the city, and the things that the amount of people that are kind of wanting to talk to you and meet you and have you speak and all of these sorts of things. I mean, what do you say to all of that?
Yeah, this is all so new to me. It's overwhelming. Everyone's saying, Des, did you see the Sun? Did you see the Free Press? It's crazy how big our team has gotten and how big my name has gotten in the city. And I'm honestly so honored to be able to represent Winnipeg and my country and to have people look up to me. I think it's awesome, and I haven't honestly stopped smiling. I think it's so great. I look at my medal all the time. I'm so pumped. I don't have words.
You're not wearing it right now, but has it left your side at any point?
No, I keep it very close. It's literally on my nightstand when I go to bed. It's near my purse when I go out. I keep it very close to my heart.
That's a pretty cool thing to be able to look at every time you wake up.
I know, it's awesome.
And I was saying to Chris Zook here yesterday that it was funny that the first time we did a podcast was during the announcement of the 2015, and I threw out your Twitter handle, and I remember you saying, "Yeah, I want to get up to 1,000."
I remember that. Yeah.
Let's get me up to 1,000 there. Well, no worries there. I think you're over 6,500 now, and that
Isn't
sort of
that
thing.
Cool. Thanks, all my followers.
And you're good on the Twitter too, and you're on, you guys are on YouTube. You're putting up your YouTube clips.
Getting some FaceTime out there.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. You're good with going back and forth with followers and that sort of thing. What in the 2 weeks that you were over there, or a few weeks that you were over there, what was the support online? What was it kind of like turning on Twitter each day and just kind of seeing your feed and that sort of thing?
It was like my nighttime ritual was to go on there, because you needed a good hour to go through all the tweets that you would get. It was ridiculous how much support we were getting, and we're behind you 100%, behind your team. It was just honestly the most amazing thing I could imagine. To think I didn't have Twitter, since January. So I'm glad I got it, and it's nice to see all the support we get, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to know all those great things.
Awesome. Well, let's keep it going forward too, and best of luck for you. Enjoy the time here in Winnipeg and the kind of whatever kind of downtime that you can get. And we certainly appreciate you coming in and doing. This is you're the first 3-time guest on the Sun Radio podcast. That is huge.
Making history all over the place.
Desiree Scott of the Canadian women's soccer team. Des, thanks very much, and I'm pretty sure we'll be talking again in the future.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Desiree Scott of Winnipeg here on Sun Radio.